Hi everybody, my name is Karen and I'm the Associate Counselor here at Plexus. Welcome to the workshop on FAFSA checklist. FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. In this workshop, I will guide you through the different things you can do in order to prepare to fill out the FAFSA. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Before starting on your FAFSA application, here are a few things that you will need to do. Create an FSA ID. An FSA ID is what you will use to log in into your FAFSA. Identify the schools you applied or are planning to apply to. The earliest you can start on your FAFSA application is October, and most applications are due maybe by November or January, depends on the type of application you are doing. So identify the schools you want to apply to, and because you will need them in order to fill out the FAFSA. Gather the institution codes. You can find the institution codes on their website, or you can also find them while filling out the FAFSA. Know your deadlines. You will have to know the deadlines of when the FAFSA is due, especially for the schools you are applying to. Some schools may require you to have the FAFSA finished earlier than others. Give yourself time to complete it. The FAFSA is a long application and requires a lot of information, so give yourself some time to complete. It is especially recommended to start when it opens, which is in October. Here are some documents that are needed when you are filling out the FAFSA. Personal information. Some personal information that you will need are your social security number, the parent's social security number if you are a dependent student. If you don't know what a dependent student is, of course, it's usually someone who is not independent, but it's also someone who, for example, still depends on their parents, like still lives under the parents' roof or still uses some of their parents' money. If you are a dependent student, you will have to report also your parents' information on your FAFSA. You will need your driver's license number if you have one. And you will also need your USCIS number if you are not a U.S. citizen. Tax information. You will need the federal tax information for you and your spouse if you are married, and your parents if you are a dependent student. Again, as I mentioned before, a dependent student is someone who still depends on your parents and who does not qualify as an independent student. You will need W-2 forms from yourself, from your parents, and your spouse if you are married. The W-2 forms are tax forms you receive from your employer. The IRS 1040, which is the complete tax form. You will need foreign tax returns from the IRS, which are usually called 1040-NR or IRS 1040-NR-EZ. And if you are from any of these states that are mentioned right here on the slide, you will also need those tax returns. You will need untaxed income records for you and your parents if you are a dependent student. Untaxed income records are anything that is not included in your tax return. For example, child support, interest income, and veterans non-education benefits. You will need information on cash. For example, how much cash do you currently hold at the moment? You will need information on your savings and checkings account balances so the university can know how much money you actually have. You will need information on your investments, that is, if you have invested on any stocks or any bonds or real estate, for example. You will need information on business and farm assets if you have a business or farm asset. And you will need the same information for the points mentioned above for you and your parents if you are a dependent student. After submitting your FAFSA, these are some things that you should do. You should organize your forms and materials. There is a lot of paperwork involved and a lot of things that you have to download to keep in a safe place. So please make sure you organize these materials. Keep documents in a safe place. As I mentioned before, there is a lot of paperwork involved. You will have information on the tax returns, on your parents' income, etc. So please make sure you are keeping these documents in a safe place because you will never know when you will need them again. You have to check to see if your FAFSA has been processed. Your FAFSA is usually processed after submitting within 2 to 3 days, business days. If it is not processed within that time frame, please make sure to contact them to see if there is any problem with your application. Download Student Aid Report. After you submit your FAFSA, you will receive something called the Student Aid Report, also known as the SAR. This report contains all of the information you filled out on the FAFSA. You have to update as necessary. For example, maybe you have submitted another application for a university that you want to add, or maybe you want to remove a university, or maybe you have to update your tax information, etc. Patiently wait for financial aid offers. After you submit the FAFSA, that information will go to the universities, and after they receive that information, you'll receive financial aid offers from them. All right, we have reached the end of this workshop. Thank you everybody for sticking around. Before I leave, I would like to let you all know to please download the Plexus app. If you download our app, you'll be able to receive instant notifications. We'd also very much appreciate it if you'll leave us a rating and a review. We very much appreciate any feedback you're able to give us. You can leave a rating and a review on the App Store or Google Play. Chat with my counselor if you have any questions regarding this video, or if you would like to reach out about your journey to higher education. We're always happy to help in answering all of those questions as well. And finally, if you would like to check out our other college readiness workshops, please make sure to check out our Plexus YouTube page called Plexus Social Media. Thank you everyone again, and I will see you all in the next workshop. Bye.